By the way, the Gippslanders who found the important religious artifact known as the Holy Grail in the 1500s were all canonized hundreds of years ago by the Catholic Church at the usual Vatican ceremony for finding it and politely handing it into the Vatican, which resulted in it being in the Vatican collection today. Obviously, the Vatican respected their decision to hand it in instead of keeping it for themselves or pretending it was intergenerational organized crime property passed down from thief cum artifact burner to descendants. And it wasn't involved in any incident called a crucifixion. I already mentioned that earlier if you are confused. Ignore anyone who pretends the item's thieves and their descendants and family were canonized too, or should have been, etc. People claiming to represent the crazy European Alps cult of Loot Cave and fictional story, who are descended from lunatics involved in the arson riot in 1858, still travel here to check what development there has been every decade, usually in the year ending in 3. They take notes on what they pretend has been acceptable development since their last visit and what they pretend isn't allowed until 2147. There are usually plans for some type of terrorism attack on Gippsland every year that ends in 8, as if an anniversary of 1858. Can't side with couple hybrid artifact thieves and damage burners myself. A clearly incorrect decision to do so. Things sometimes get unfairly tough to live in Gippsland because of them, too often. Particularly since the invention of the satellite. In what can be such a passionately idyllic place too. Those insane pretend penalties imposed on Gippsland pro-thief artifact burner types want what? They can't have it moved back to a cave in Italy. Very few of the arson riot leaders and perpetrators got out alive in 1858 after what they did. Their remains are still around in piles of sordid skulls, knuckles and other bones etc. If you want to stay here, you need to be able to deal with piles of sordid bones, even if you cannot see them. There are also the remains of those who decided they may as well remove a species of native animal or plant or two, and pretend they were never in Gippsland at all, or use them for ransom, while the local military were busy. The Yarragon army took severe issue with them after hunting down the arson riot perpetrators was finished. There are big piles and so many species of native animal that aren't here in abundance anymore. Lunatics are still trying to completely remove more species every now and then. For what? Italian lunatics and others who are related to the Vatican staff from 1569. The artifact, the Holy Grail, was handed into, like to pretend those police staff were the ultimate heroes of the events. As if they found it and did all the work. All the while constantly thinking, why didn't they unwrap it and touch it themselves? Why? Quietly. If you understand my meaning. Anything remotely Bible-sounding gets mentioned and they stick their chin up and pull a related to police stationed in the Vatican, fake heroes from 1569 face. Oh, the honor. The real heroes. The biological family honor, face. Privileged brat here, fake superior face. They often pretend they should be given everything in any inheritance in Italy that does not get distributed to beneficiaries before the legal time limit runs out and it is referred to police, labeled as gifts and donations as rewards for their ancestral Vatican police station, fake hero ancestors. That they should at least never have to work, just steal stuff from inheritances and pretend it is ongoing reward gifts and donations from police. The police investigating why the inheritances haven't been passed on to beneficiaries. All those Vatican police station staff did was send it to be sorted labeled as donation or gift handed into the station, which resulted in the sorters unwrapping it and touching it, finding the explanatory notes and it being put in the Vatican collection. They often pretend they should get to steal Italian inheritances because the Vatican police station staff from 1569 couldn't return the item to Jesus because she was already deceased. There is no place for pretending descended relatives of those police in the Vatican should have been canonized too, or considered more important in events than the Gippslanders who found it. Even if they break into their usual, we want to pretend the lazy police who did nothing were the heroes posers and start talking like ancestrally privileged spoilt brats with a dream to steal off anyone they want and illegally give to lazy Italian posers biologically related to the staff from 1569, so they don't need to work. The easiest way to beat them is to say those Vatican police did not find the object and send it to the Vatican. That is regardless of how many estates in Italy they illegally withhold from beneficiaries, as if the estates are like religious items handed into Italian police working the Vatican after a time limit to contact the beneficiaries expired, that they claim Italian police should get to decide who they distribute them to instead of the beneficiary owner as gifts or donations. My Italian estate is not being illegally handed over to a lazy slob Italian whore who has never had a job related to someone lazy bastard scratching his ass in a Vatican police station in 1569 who dumped it in the for the Vatican mail gifts and donations pile. And didn't touch it. That we don't care if all the association football stadiums in Italy inherited by someone who has not received the inheritance fall down due to disrepair. We want to pretend the police get to give away everything illegally after labeling it as a donations or gift after it is referred to police because the time limit to do the legal tasks ran out. Routine. I am related to one of those vacation police station staff from 1569 too, by post-hand in romance, and it isn't vaguely. Not a subscriber to their Alps crime triad of mindset here. The Holy Grail was not involved in any incident of catching Jesus' blood. I always have one stock standard response when it comes to Christmas. It has always seemed like a quintessentially homosexual female-themed holiday to me. And I agree that homosexuals should not be deprived of consenting to participate in the miracle of birth due to lunatics insisting it must be male-female physical sexual contact that causes conception. Repulsive.